iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing.
Scotland, PA is about ambition. It's about greed. It's about what are you willing to do to get what you want.
Scotland, PA is a dark comic riff on the Scottish play. So it takes Shakespeare's Macbeth and transports it to a fast food restaurant in rural Pennsylvania in 1975.
I first saw the movie when I was in high school, and I fell in love with it, and I thought that would make an amazing musical, but the problem was I was 17 years old. So later, when I had the opportunity to meet Adam and sort of audition ideas, I said, how about this movie? He watched it, he liked it, and then we got the rights, and now we're here.
So I am Mac. It's a very thinly guised Macbeth. And in our world, it's a fictional 1975 where the idea of a drive-thru has not been invented yet. And Mac invents the idea of a drive-thru. He pitches it he works at this restaurant, he pitches it to try to get this idea of a drive-thru to be started, and the owner of the restaurant totally shoots it down. And then he comes back again, newly empowered with some confidence by these stoners he's met in the woods, which are the Shakespearean witches of old. And the entire plot of Macbeth's sort of spirals out of control from there, but all taking place in the newly minted Macbeth's franchise.
My character's name is Pat. She's based off Lady Macbeth, and she really is just so in love with her husband and sees a brighter and bigger future for the both of them. She finds herself frustrated where she's at, and so she's willing to go extra lengths to get where she thinks they need to go.
Banco's a simple guy. He really likes his recreational drugs. He really likes his alcohol. You know, he's just a post-hippie era simple dude that just wants to hang with friends and have a good time.
So the two characters I play, Brenda, she's just like, the character that Banco lusts after, wants to sleep with, and, she's just, here and there. And Stacy, as one of the stoners, she's kind of just like one of the voices in Mac's brain, who plays essentially Macbeth. As this trio, we're all kind of just like, we get to have fun with him. We get to play with him. We get to like help him reach for his dreams, like, push him to get what he wants. But then we're also just like, you can have a little fun. You're smart. You're like, believe in yourself.
Well, it's interesting, especially with Jay, because, we were so in every scene together, did everything together in On the Town. And in this, like, we truly don't have any, because I live in the world of Mac's brain and he lives in his reality. So we have one moment in the show, in the second act, that's sort of when we're out of our characters, and we relish that 20 seconds or whatever it is, but it's fun to be with him. But it's been great. I mean, there's been people in the show that I've always wanted to work with that I haven't gotten to, and it's been awesome.
The cast is absolutely incredible. Everyone has their own unique humor, their own unique sensibility, team players. It's one of those times where you're actually happy to come to work, and you mean it when you say it.
This is a very new experience for me personally. So getting to work among all of these crazy, like, genius talented actors and singers and performers is like incredibly humbling and like a huge learning experience for me.
The cast is extraordinary. They're just some of the most talented people I've ever worked with. I mean, Taylor and Ryan and Jay Armstrong, they're enormously skillful. And they're enormously joyful, and they're all charismatic, and they sing great and dance great and act great. We're very lucky and grateful to them, and we try and tell them that every day.
The book writer Michael Mitnick and I embarked on writing this. I think we started about 5 years ago, and were introduced by Roundabout a little bit before that, and bounced around some ideas about what kind of musical we could write. And Michael had always had in his head this movie, Scotland, PA, that he had seen when he was in high school. And he said, hey, watch this movie, let me know what you think. I fell in love with it, thought it would be a great stage musical. And it took a few months to get the rights, but I'd say about 5 years ago we started properly writing it, and that got us to where we are today.
Oh, Adam is so dear and so talented. The music is sublime. The orchestrations are just delicious. And, you know, I grew up in the 70s, so every single song sounds like something from my youth. I don't always know what, but it's you know, that's the magic of it.
I'm a huge fan of Adam Guan. I think he's literally incapable of writing a song that doesn't have a hook in it. Like, he's incapable of writing a song that doesn't get stuck in your head. It's impossible for him.
I have the songs in my head at all times, and I said, thank God they're good, because I think his music is so great.
It's so unique and so incredible. I've never really heard anything like it, but at the same hand, it kind of feels very familiar. It's sonically set in the 1970s, so we've got a lot of guitar, bass, drums, and it just, all of the tunes feel like you've heard them before, but I guarantee you've never heard anything like this music.
Adam is one of the most incredible collaborators. He's a rarity in New York theater in that he does both music and lyrics, and he also has a unique ability to make a song active, carry the story forward, carry the character forward. He's not just staying around in an idea. When we work together, I'll generally write a scene overwritten, and then he'll maybe take a single idea or nothing. And it's been very easy and a pleasure.
It's amazing, you know, like they'll be like, can you change? There's this one passage in the opening that it changed almost every day in rehearsal. And it would just be like, he changed the whole melody and also the lyrics, and how just resilient and malleable he was to be like, oh yeah, I'll just write something new or write it like this.
Oh, it's been fascinating. It's been wonderful. I went to grad school to work on new works and to learn like what it's like to work on things when you have like living playwrights and living composers, and it's just been nice to be able to go to him and say, now what was your intention with this? Am I hitting the mark? And to work with him and the director to find out what these characters are, who they are.
I want the audience to walk away thinking a little bit about ambition and greed and how it plays into their life and how it plays into our culture at the moment. We definitely come at the topic with a big wink and a big smile, but I think there really is a conversation to be had about how we deal with this human need for more and ambition and how that feeds us.
Ooh. I kind of want them to look inside of themselves a bit. I mean, we're having a lot of fun and we're creating a lot of laughter, but at the end of the day, it is about greed and murder and what you will do to get what you want. And so I kind of want them to kind of look in the mirror and say, what would I do to get what I want?
iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing.